Hey guys, um, I it's been a minute since I've done a video. I have been thinking a lot about a conversation that I had with a very dear relative just recently, and she was telling me that she has recently just discovered that she is an empath also. And if you're, have been paying attention to following my posts and everything, that I'm also an empath. So she told me that when she kind of made the connection that she had this ability, she decided to research it a lot, and I was kind of surprised that I hadn't done the same. I had just heard that that empaths have these specific types of tendencies and I guess abilities. Sorry, my hair, seriously. It's been a long day. Anyway, so she did a lot of research, and she was saying that so many things that she discovered were very, hitting close to home, and it was really, like it pretty much described her life. So I thought, well, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do some research. So all that I had really known about being an empath was that you could kind of like pick up on people's energies or their emotions, and you share them. And yeah, that's basically what it kind of was to me. So I did some research, and I had just typed in empath into Google, and I was actually a little disappointed with the things that it brought up. Some of the things that it brought up were like related searches, and they were things like telekinesis, pyrokinesis, fortune telling, things like that. And so I was kind of taken aback, and I was like, okay, well, if that's what an empath is, then I can't be an empath, because I'm not like a mystic. I'm not, I don't know. It didn't seem real anymore. And I thought, okay, it's got to be something else. So then, I gave myself a couple days, and I found a website that I really liked that was written by a doctor, and it was just basic indications of what an empath is capable of doing. And they were, or tendencies, and it was like reading a book about me. So I kind of, that was a little encouraging, but I thought, well, it's not like a superpower. It kind of was a little discouraging. So I gave myself a couple days, and I kind of got to the point where I thought, well, who am I to say that those things really don't exist? So I talked to my husband, and he said that a lot of times people will have gifts, and the adversary will tweak them into being something detrimental to them. So, or to others. I'm not trying to say that, people who capitalize on things like fortune telling or whatever, if that's what people want to do, that's awesome. If that's, what the calling that they have, that's great. But it made me able to, I guess, kind of accept it a little bit more. So this is what I've come to, this is what it boils down to for me, especially talking with this family member of mine. What I would like to say is, maybe it would be beneficial to you to see if you are also an empath. Something that is indicative of empathic behavior is, like I said, picking up on energies that people are putting out. So they can be negative, positive, whatever. But empaths kind of pull that in. They feel the same thing. So sometimes, I didn't realize this, but sometimes when they're in crowds, it's like they're being bombarded by all of the emotion, all of the energy, whatever. And it can be too much. And I actually have to sleep sometimes to process when things like that happen to me. Now, that's not to say that happens to me every single time. I mean, I can be in crowds and or around large groups of people and not feel bombarded by that. But what I've come to realize is that, and something that I want to really drive home to those of you who have recently discovered that you may have empathic abilities, is that it's not meant to be a burden or a detriment. It's not meant to be negative. I believe that it's truly a gift. So this gift has been given to me, given to my family member, and those of you who have noticed that you have these empathic abilities, so that you're able to, we're counseled to mourn with those who mourn and celebrate with those who are celebrating. It makes it a little easier to be able to do that with people. But it can feel burdensome. It can feel like, the energy that they're expending on their own depression is internalized by an empath. So what I've tried to do is when I'm feeling that way, when I feel like I'm getting a little bit caught up in somebody else's emotions, is, just get back to center, like we talked about, I think it was last week or my last episode. So really understanding that those feelings, those emotions, that energy is not necessarily my energy, but that I can reciprocate a lot more easily with that person and feel for them, so that I can, at the very least, just be a friend, be somebody that they can run to and can, that can feel what they're feeling. Now, a lot of this sounds like empathy. Empathy is the difference between, in my opinion, empathy and having empathic abilities is empathy is something that anybody can have. Like, you can learn empathy, you can be taught empathy, but empathic abilities is a gift that's given to certain people. Not everybody is really capable of feeling empathy, just because it's not something that comes naturally to them. You can learn how to be empathetic to another person, to, share in their whatever emotion they have, but that's something that has to be practiced and learned. But empathic abilities is something that you're just given. And because it's a gift, because it's something that's given to you, it can feel like you have no choice but to feel that emotion, that energy. But as long as you understand that it truly is a gift, you can use it to your own benefit and to help other people. So that's kind of what's been weighing on my mind. And understanding, like if you just kind of look up empath on the internet, it'll bring up several different websites that indicate what empaths, experience or whatever. But I really wanted as science as much as I could be, because I didn't want to I'm not a mystic. I'm not, that's not what it was, but it is real. So, there were certain things that they brought, that this one website in particular had brought up about that empaths, I'm trying to think, like, they like being in nature, which I thought was kind of strange, because I don't, like, you know me, I don't like bugs, I don't like being dirty, whatever. But it said that they were drawn to large bodies of water, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. Like, I love being at lakes, love being in the ocean. I don't know why, but that's one thing that they said is that empaths are drawn to. So if you find yourself realizing that you are able to draw from people's energy, and that you are truly an empath, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have anxiety or depression. If you have anxiety and depression and discover that you're an empath, then I feel you, because that's just really, really hard, because you're not only having a hard time with dealing with your own emotions and your own pain, your own anguish, your own whatevers, your own fears, you're internalizing everyone else's. So, just find your way to get back to center, whatever your strategy may be. Look up strategies, find ways to compartmentalize what's truly important, because as an empath, you may notice, at least this is what I do. I would, I guess, put my needs and my concerns aside and focus all of my energy on something that didn't even pertain to me, but I was internalizing it. Like, for a quick example, I've already shared this with my sister-in-law. It was really funny, but I was driving home from a long trip, and all of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh, did she apply for college, or did she register for college, and has she filled out her financial aid, and is she, going to be prepared to get started back in school? And I was like, holy crap, that's not my circus. That's not, I don't need to worry about that, But I think that was part of me being an empath. And if it wasn't, I don't know, it might not have been. But I worry more about other people sometimes than I do about myself. And I had to really push that out of my mind and trust her, not try to solve all the problems myself. So look inward, see if maybe you do have empathic abilities, and that if you do, that understand that they are a gift. It's a gift, and you can use it to your benefit. You can help other people, and really understand that if you do suffer from anxiety and depression and you are an empath, that it can be a major battle to fight, but it's, you've been entrusted with this gift. So have faith, love yourself, don't forget that. And even if you don't believe in God, he loves you anyway. So anyway, have a wonderful week. I'm going to try to, my goal is to do these once a week. So if not, I'll see you sooner than that. But other than that, I hope you're doing well and that you continue to thrive amidst your chaos. Love you all. Bye.